Good evening everyone and welcome along to League of Europe. We are here tonight for F1 23 action. It is Season X or Season 10. It is Division 1, Round 9 of the Championship as we take in the British Grand Prix from, of course, the Silverstone International Circuit. My name is James Head. I'm delighted to be back in the commentary box. First for 4 weeks I think I'm back in the commentary box. Did Spain last time. Now, of course, here at our home race in Britain. Well, we have normally got Killer and Nova, of course, in the commentary box, but joining me alongside tonight, it is my regular PSGL partner in crime. It is Miss Jessica Ball. Jess, how you doing?
Hi James, my first commentary since last season, so glad to be back just for a one-off around our home track, Silverstone. First season Formula 1 in 1950. We've got Montana leading the championship by about 30 points. And Montana and Justas like this track, so I think we're in for a very good race tonight.
Yeah, we are in for a very, very good round race tonight. Montana saying welcome to round whatever round silver shit. So apparently he's not good at this track, judging by that comment from Montana. But then again, he's 33 points clear. He doesn't need to. He can afford to actually not score points and still be in the lead of the championship. Montana leading the way on 33 points. As I say, won last week, of course, in Monaco. Less I say about Monaco, the better, because I DNF'd around there. Justas also joining the DNF club around there in second on 110 points. Cucumber in third on 109. He finished, of course, second last week. Third last week, indeed, was NSX Vaporizer with a very good result last week as well. Sweet Crown in fourth on 91. Now, I believe he's not making it here tonight, so that will be him keeping that 91 points available. Russell there in fifth, of course, Kiwi on Nathan in fifth on 73. As wow, we have got rain at Silverstone as we load into the lobby, and it is full intermediate condition tyres. Wow, this is going to throw up a real turn up for the Bucks. We'll run through the rest of the standings. Campbell in sixth on 63, Yildirim in seventh on 57, Verstappen in eighth on 44, then Gary in ninth on 36, and Izzat in 10th on 24 points. And Jess coming into tonight, Montana leading the way by 33 points, but they've got a spanner in the works already because of the British weather.
Yeah, so my qualifying stats for the dry weather is thrown completely out the window because they have to deal with what the F2 guys did in real life in Silverstone as well, because I was chucking it down there as well, but particularly not as bad. The standing water I usually find around here is very tricky as well, especially with the corners as well. But it's just such an iconic track. But they're going to find corners such as the Loop and Village and into Aintree quite difficult. Luffield as well. There's some moments where if you don't get the car set up right for these conditions, it can be quite tricky. But it does depend on when it's going to rain for the race as well, whether it's going to rain for just the qualifying session. And we are seeing some people on intermediate tyres. I think everyone's on intermediates. I thought before wet, but nope, the game's like, you're going on inters, my friend, okay.
Yeah, intermediate condition tyre to begin off with. Of course, Inter's canvas filled of 25 litres of water every single second, no matter what the track surface is. But the rain is very much in the realm here at Silverstone. Of course, this is a track that you've commentated in real life as well, Jess, for Formula Student last a couple of months ago, in fact, that was. And of course, it is a track that you've been at as well, which I cannot say I have been to, but it's still nonetheless a very good track. Here, of course, at the home of British Motorsport in Silverstone. Of course, coming into the constructors standings as well, Alfa Romeo leading the way on 183 points, with Aston Martin second on 159, Mercedes third on 136, and Alpine fourth on 110, then Red Bull fifth on 108, AlphaTauri sixth on 80, Haas in seventh on 69, and then a big jump down to McLaren in eighth on 17, Ferrari in ninth on 12, and Williams in 10th on 12 points as well. The rain falling out on track. Already had our first retirement out of the session. That is Lifeboat, the ET8 man who's recently signed, I believe, for the team, is already out of the session. And I believe there are a few stewards reports from last week as well, including one that picked up 5 licence points and a 5-second penalty as Campbell goes for a spin coming through Vale and Club. He didn't mean to do that, but that is brilliant to watch on. That is how you start off the night, my friend.
That was a little bit of Tokyo drifting going on from Campbell there. Interesting gamer tag as well, but yeah, I think there was a couple of pit exit breaches, which was no further action for that one. Someone was intentionally driving slowly again, no further action. Marty, by the way, has got a poly ban, but is he here tonight? I don't think he's here tonight, so he's gonna carry over to the next race. Gary's been a naughty boy. He had a free licence points for causing a collision with Router last week, and also 5 licence points for going AI. Tut tut.
Terrible behaviour. Should be more like Division 4. There was there was actually no reports last week, and that's probably because I actually DNF'd in that race as well, which I probably didn't expect, to be honest. But Campbell is on a lap as he slides his way, coming through the right-hander there of Luffield, now through Woodcut and then run down into the old turn 1, of course, at Cups Corner. Hamilton and Kovalainen famously nearly making contact in 2008 around here. 150 mile an hour carried coming through the corner. I have done a little bit of wet practice as well, which is good in Grand Prix mode, so this is going to suit me very well, potentially for qualifying and the race. He now comes through on the exit of Beckett's and then through the left-hander of Chaplin, really having to try and take the corners there with a 110.9 in the middle sector. Nowhere near what we should be expecting, of course, in terms of the inters, but multiple laps will be set by these guys out on track with 13.5 minutes to go, just over. Campbell out on top, Dylan second, Felipe in third, and Campbell nearly loses the control of the car again, coming through the right-hander of Stowe at turn 15, in toward Bale and Club at 16, 17, and then through 18. It's been a very sketchy affair for Campbell coming through towards the line. It's going to be around a 138.5, I think, to the line, 138.4 in the end from Campbell. Goes quickest, but there's going to be quicker lap times already, as we see Nathan coming to the line and going 5 tenths quicker.
Yes, and it's going to be a while to keep up, I think, James, because with these intermediate tyres, they're not just going to go into the pit straight away. They're going to be going on more than one lap on them, and there will be some banker laps as our championship leader is showing why he is the championship leader. 137.443 for the NXX man. QBR Verstappen P2, which is 4 tenths behind as well. There's a few more people coming across the line now. I think Jeroen is going across the line as well. Dylan's going through sector 1 to see what he could do, but yellow flags everywhere. But let's watch the Williams man. 140.4, slowest of them all, but still time to be found.
Yeah, still time to be found indeed. Cucumber on the run to the line now goes quickest ahead of Montana. It was a good middle sector actually from the Alfa Romeo man there, but a 137.3 we will see 136s I'm sure in the second runs from these guys once those tyres of course get up to temperature. Matthias is coming through the middle sector as well with a 110.9 as well, so the McLaren is looking pretty quick here. The Dutchman, who's used to the rain of course, they're coming through the right-hander of Vale and then towards Club Corner at the final corner. Cucumber, Montana, Verstappen, Conan in the top 3. Matthias is going to be up there with this lap even though he's squirming all the way through the final corner. He goes 8th position. That could have been though a 37.9 I think from his perspective. The McLaren there going into 8th position as well. Good evening to everyone, to everyone that is tuning in to tonight's live stream. If you are enjoying it so far, like, comment, subscribe, tick that notification bell. Of course, if you're brand new at a very much dank Silverstone, it is raining in real life, raining here in the northeast, and certainly raining here at Silverstone, which I think we cannot get away from the rain, certainly in the UK, as Dylan comes to the line and goes 11th position as well. Sweet Crown potential favourite around here. He was actually not due to make it, actually coming back to make it very late, and a 37.2 I think that was through the first sector from him. But Montana set to 37.2 in his lap. Very good lap from him.
Well, I'm going to say it's not very nice here in the southwest either, so we're not getting nice weather anywhere in the United Kingdom. And if you are in a area of the United Kingdom that was sunny earlier on today, then I hate you. But anyway, Alp coming across the line now to finish, and he's invalid, so he's going to start again, it looks like. Oh no, he was on his outlap, that's why I was very confusing as well. As Cucumber goes fastest, the track is ramping up, and that's probably going to go and shake a few feathers a little bit, especially from Montana's side of things. Most people now will be on their second flying laps as they head towards the second sector. And Montana, I believe, backed off of his lap, so never mind for him.
Yeah, down in second position, 37.2. It's still a good lap. He was expecting the top 5, he was saying there in the chat tonight. Alp is through the first sector, 30.7 in the first sector. He has, of course, saved up all of that ERS to use up down at the straight. But Cucumber on a 36.9, going 3 tenths quicker so far than Montana. Yussos there in third, Russell there in fourth, with Matthias in fifth. If you are tuning in for the first live stream here of League of Europe in your lifetime, that is not the real George Russell there in fourth position. It is Mr. QVR Nathan, who is there in fourth. Now in fifth because Yildirim goes second as well. The relentless man going into second position, so good lap from him. Ferg saying Pease is at Justas and Sweet Crown, all a part of course of relentless, so support there for him. But the Kia Vierman and Alp sending the timing screen to light through the middle sector, 1:10.8, actually quicker than what Montana was sending on his first lap. So this is looking like a very, very good lap from the Turk American as he now comes through the right-hander of Stowe and into Old Vale and Club Corner with about halfway through in the session. God, just glitching there actually. Coming into the pit lane, one of the Alpines, I think that was Felipe coming back in, but Alp now on the run to the line, should go I think fourth with this lap time. He doesn't, he goes 8th in the end, 37.5, but it's so close between Justas and Campbell, and Matthias even thrown into that mix as well. So close, and Alp in the end, 8th position with a 37.5. He improved to 10th, he would have been 5th.
Still pretty decent for him, but again, there's still more time to find for him, especially with 9 minutes to go of the session as well. I think we got his teammate of Matt, who's going into the pits now, so he's going to set another lap later on. And what's happened there?
There's a spinner through the final corner. Maledictus has spun. The Portuguese man, he's lost his front wing. That is absolute bad luck for him because he's just came past the pit lane, he's broken his front wing coming on the exit of the final corner, and now he has to troop around with a whole lap and waste around 2.5 minutes of his lifetime getting that car recovered, and maybe even with that bit of a squirm coming through turn 3, wonder if he's got a little bit of rear damage on the car as well.
Yeah, I think so as well, potentially, and it's easier to get it, the rear wing damage, in these wet conditions anyway, and you do not want to get it down here. I did it in, I think, an open lobby, and I got it there in a 25% race, and it's just hard to keep your car under control, especially for me when I'm running medium traction. So I don't know how these guys do it, but a few drivers, well, quite a lot of drivers are running little to no assist at all. But yeah, we'll see the conditions improve. It doesn't look like it's going to improve at this moment in time, but let's see what Pease could do. He was 14th, now he's 10th faster, so he's found a few temps there. We've got, I think, Justas on his outlap. Someone just came across the line, actually, and I didn't see who it was. Oh, it was Alp! Alp came across the line in P2. Where did that come from?
Yeah, very good lap time from Alp, the Turk American there going second, ahead of Yildirim, ahead of Izzat. Looks like the track is actually improving. The rain is beginning to ease off out on track, so might be transition at least to slightly better conditions on these inters. I don't think it is actually gonna improve as the session goes on. I think it's going to be a full wet session potentially here out on track, but the rain is beginning to fall a lot lighter out on track now compared to the start of the session, so we are seeing that little bit of light period going in between. Cucumber though out on top, out there in second, Yildirim there in third. League of Europe has actually just tweeted out about 20 minutes ago now, it's time for round 9 at Silverstone and admin isn't writing. D1 live tweet along. I'm not the admin, Jess is not the admin. I'd love to see that, to be honest.
Yeah, I would like to see that too. I wonder which admin is not racing.
Killer. Is it? No, Killer's normally commentating.
Could be him.
Gary? It must be Gary.
Oh yeah, it might be Gary actually, because I don't see him out on track.
Unless he's masquerading under somebody else's tag, potentially, tonight. But the Irishman is there. We have, as well, had another joiner into the session, and I cannot see for the life of me who that might have been. It might have been Sweet Crown, actually, there in 14th position, who was joined. He got his lap time in, a 37.814. It must have sneaked in, because I didn't see that until now. But
it was a full lobby at the start of the session.
It was a full lobby at the start of the session. I swear I saw 19 drivers on the left-hand side. My mind might be playing tricks.
Yeah, it is a Saturday, it's raining, that's your excuse.
It is definitely my excuse. Nathan has got no excuse, by the way, in terms of this lap time. He's starting up on another run. 40% of EOS, so he's actually quite low on his run right now, but he's 300 up out of the first sector. May actually try and come back in the pit lane. This is his 6th run, actually, on this set of intermediate compounder tyres, so this is going to be for George Russell or for Mr. Kiwi or Nathan. A very good run there with a 37.247, only 4,000 second off Montana. And Nathan, of course, is a race winner around here back in the day in League of Europe, has done very well since, and Nathan looking to try and prove the doubters wrong and maybe make up some points, because he is, of course, top 5 in the championship at the minute.
Yeah, and it's quite halfway to the season, isn't it, for a lot of these drivers, and it is quite a long season. We're on round 9 now, and Brazil will be the final round at round 18, so lots of chances for people to get some valuable points, and there's certain drivers that yet to get off the mark. So if they could get a good result tonight, that would help them get their championship back on track.
Yeah, definitely. So we're seeing now potentially final runs already at the session. I say that very lightly because the rain is stopping out on track, so it looks like we might even get a little bit of dry conditions as Izzat has left the session. Hopefully he can get back in. I have got him on my friends list if he does need an invite. I think Verstappen, though, has sent out multiple invites for the guys here out on track tonight. But Cucumber leading the way, Alpin second, Yildirim in third with 4.5 minutes to go in qualifying session. Ita Mohammed is on a lap time at this moment with his second run actually on the set of intermediate compound tyres. 37.5. Normally lap upon lap you try and gain time. Mohammed, though, with this track now beginning to ease off, the rain beginning to ease, this should be big time track improvements that we're going to see towards the end of the session.
And if you're not out on circuit now, then you're probably thinking, hang on, you really should be out on circuit because the track is evolving pretty much every minute, and you never know, it may dry up towards the end of the session. So the more track experience you get in these type of conditions, the better, and we could see some faster lap times creep through from the Ferrari driver. He's already a 2-10 improvement for him in that middle sector as he heads towards Stowe Corner. Really hard braking zone through that corner as well as he's parked. Nope, he's going into the pit lane. Never mind, I think that's what quite a lot of people could do as well. And I was about to talk about the Ellen Club corner, but that was completely thrown out the window with him going into the pits.
Yeah, completely threw off me as well in terms of the camera angles, in terms of him coming back in the pit lane, because he was 2.5 tenths up. He was about, though, 4 or 5 tenths off the quickest middle sector that we've seen. That's from this man here, Cucumber, who's invalid coming through the middle sector, so that's a shame from his perspective. NSX Spine, formerly, of course, the Swiss man, a very good driver here in League of Europe. He's there in 14th position, has lost his way a little bit this season. The other drivers from D2 certainly begin to catch up and overtake him in terms of actual pace. He's there in 14th position. Spine, though, is a very consistent driver in his day. He's 3 tenths up on this lap. He should be improving big time on this run.
Yes, as did a lot of people as well. I think we could see more improvements coming up now as well. But I'm just looking at Campbell right now as he's lost a bit of time in that middle sector. I might be wrong. Spine as well. He's found 3 to 4 attempts. He's purple middle sector. He's 14th at the moment. He could shot himself to the top of the timing sheets. I was not expecting him to be up there as well. Past Stowe Corner, someone has let him through. That was the AlphaTauri driver, but now he heads towards Vale Chicane. A lot of overtakes we've seen, and one infamous battle of through goes Hamilton. It was a 3-wide battle, which was really, really good around there. Through the Hamilton straight he goes. Not quite pole position, but really nice lap from 14th to 2nd.
Track's improving massively, though, because Alp's 3 tenths up through the first sector. He's coming towards the middle sector now, through Beckett's, and now out of Chapel onto the middle sector, and he's a 109.8, 5 tenths quicker than Cucumber through that middle sector. So this is a huge lap now. The track improving all of the time. We're going to be seeing lap times potentially in the 35s, even potentially in the 34s, as we get towards the end of the session here with 1.5 minutes to go in League of Europe qualifying. Rocco goes quickest. Take a photo, though. It'll probably last longer because Alp is coming through the final couple of corners. The Turk American on the run toward the line. Montana, though, goes quickest. Alp is not going to beat that, I don't think. He doesn't. 36.1. No. Montana now quickest. Alp second. Rocco there in third. Cucumber, though, 109.7 in the middle sector. 5.5 tenths up, and he can still find a second, at least, potentially, in terms of this final sector. He's currently in fourth. The Alfa Romeo man coming through the final corner on the run to the line with Cucumber. Does he go second? No, he goes quickest. 11/100ths of a second. Big improvement from Cucumber, but Montana still can find time, and he's a 10.5 up in the first sector.
Yeah, Montana looking good as well, and I have to say, great VRS management from him as he's purple in the first sector currently compared to anyone. So I think if there's a man who could get pole position today at a track that he doesn't like, and he said, I quote, happy with a top 5 tonight, not gonna lie. Well, I think he's gonna aim higher than that after seeing this performance. We've got Dylan out on a lap now as well. Bit squirmy through the middle sector as QBR Verstappen goes fastest. And I think we're going to see times going left, right and centre. We're going to see lots of people top the timing sheets. Will Dylan be the same? Nope, he's not. He's in 8th spot. Who are major contenders? We got Rocco's 2 tenths down. Has Jerome has gone for a spin past Aintree.
Oh, and Montana nearly loses it coming out of Stowe Corner as well. He's a 10th and 3/4 up coming through in towards Club Corner now. The time session now pretty much done. Rocco first to come across the line will remain in 10th, but there's still many improvements to come on the run toward the line. Goes Montana, goes quickest, but it's not enough at this moment in time because Verstappen is improving. Alp goes quickest now, 35.6, and Montana's not ending up on pole. Russell's up in the first sector as well. Verstappen is up through the first sector. He's actually through the middle sector, so he's slightly down.
Campbell's
Cucumber,
5 tenths
though.
up.
Campbell 5 tenths up and Cucumber's 5 tenths up as well. He's now coming in toward the final couple of corners. Cucumber now can absolutely put this out of sight to everyone to the line.
Wow.
35.3. Huge lap from him. Campbell 5 tenths up. If he can find 3 tenths from somewhere, Campbell might be ending himself on pole position. The Scotsman now comes in towards the right-hander of Stowe. He'll be next to come across the line. Next up behind him, I think it's ET8 Mohammed in there in 16th position. But Campbell there coming through the final couple of corners. The rain still just falling on track. Very, very lightly indeed as Campbell now on the run to the line. Does he go quickest? No. Second from him. Good lap though nonetheless. Russell on the run toward the line as well. Mohammed on the run to the line goes 8th position. Russell though coming through the final couple of corners. He nearly invalidates coming through Vale and in towards Club Corner. Out the final corner to the line. Goes 3rd and he's only 0.04 of a second off. Verstappen's down. Justas goes 5th in the end. Huge improvement still coming. My voice is going as you can tell towards the end of this session. Dylan in there in 11th. Spine is done. Jeroen is done. Yulbream is next to come across the line. He's looking very quick actually. Yulbream on the run toward the line. He should go around 9th or 10th. He does go 10th indeed behind Pease. Jeroen is done. Thank goodness for that. It's the end of qualifying. It is Cucumber out on top. It's Campbell in 2nd and it's Nathan there in 3rd. Brilliant qualifying in session and Cucumber 2 tenths on top.
It definitely kept us on our toes, didn't it? We didn't know which way it was going to go, but it was Cucumber by a few tenths per second that pipped Campbell to the post on 3 lap old Inters. So they haven't used any dries as well, so that's going to be good for the race if they want to use like all their softs maybe for a safety car. So they've got 3 sets of softs to use as they choose as well. And it makes more people want to go for an ambitious strategy. And I like ambitious strategies, but it is D1, so anything can happen.
Anything can happen. It probably will do as well. It is Silverstone at the end of the day, and you never know. Safety cars, the likes may just happen here out on track. But it's Cucumber out on top by 2 tenths per second from Campbell there in 2nd. Nathan there in 3rd. Mercedes 2nd and 3rd out on track, which is good for them and the constructors. Out there in 4th with Justas in 5th. Sweet Crown there in 6th. Starting ahead of Montana in 7th. So all the main championship protagonists behind Montana are actually starting ahead of him. Verstappen there in 8th with Pease in 9th. Yulbream ran off the top 10. The Matthias in 11th. Mohammed in 12th. And Maledictus, Dylan and Spine top 15. Rocco Jeroen is at Felipe and Lifebow too didn't set a lap time in. He retired out of the session very early on indeed, so he is starting right from the back of the field. At this point we would normally go to a 30-second intermission break and sponsor with GT Omega and the likes, but we haven't got that tonight in League of Europe. But what we do have as we load into the lobby, beautiful blue skies and sunshine, and that is more like it in terms of the British weather.
Yeah, I think it was 2021 when the weather was like this. It was the first ever sporting event which allowed 4 spectators as well, and they went for an absolute treat as well. I believe it was a sprint weekend too, but we're not going to get a sprint weekend here. Obviously in F1 23 it's a normal race weekend for these guys as well. Now interestingly, will they go for the mediums to start with, or will they go on the hards? I would say most people, if they're near the front, they want to get some fast laps out of the way very quickly. So if I were them, I would start on the mediums. But if you're near in the middle, maybe hards could be a potential. But again, I think either mediums to hards or hards to mediums. I think we'll see 1 or 2 be very brave and do either soft to mediums or mediums to softs. But good luck if you can get those tyres lasting. It can last up to 9 laps optimum pace on the softs. So it can be done.
Yeah, it can be done indeed. Softs though do wear very quick around here, around about 5-6% a lap. I was finding in my testing that I did earlier on, about 6% a lap in terms of me, and I've got a very aggressive driving style and I drive on pad. So per that is going to be, what, 6%, 30%, of course, by the end. We have got formation up, luckily, here in League of Europe, so don't worry, there was no 5 lights coming out there here for League of Europe tonight. But what we can look at is everyone on the compound tyres, and interesting strategy calls. Well, not really surprised that a majority of them, at least, are on the correct tyre. Most of them on that set of hard compound tyres, including Campbell, Russell, Justas, Montana, interestingly, on a set of mediums, as well as Cucumber, Alp, Justas, Montana, Maledictus and Spine, all on that set of medium compound tyres. Everyone else, although I haven't named, bar Lifeboat, he's on a set of softs. Everyone on a set of hards, Jess.
Not surprised, really. I think that's what it's like in many other leagues and tiers that will probably start on the hard tyres as well. But it's hard to get those hards up to temperature, I find, around Silverstone. So I think you just got to be very committed from the get-go, get a really good start. But for the likes of Cucumber, Alp, Justas and Montana, and also Maledictus and Spine as well, they've got to get some overtakes done, because otherwise being on the mediums will be meaningless.
Yeah, definitely. So if you even my little giggle, by the way, in the background, League of Europe has just tweeted out, and they are doing a live tweet of this session. Rocco ended up 16th, offering as much false hope as the Chicago Bears off-season with that early P1 lap. He has been done dirty there by the admin. It is Gary, I'm pretty sure that is live tweeting right now.
It is definitely Gary. If it's not Gary, I'll be surprised.
Yeah, I'd give him... I'd pay my house and mortgage, quite literally, even though I don't have a house and don't have a mortgage, for him to be Gary as the admin. We need an admin reveal on that Twitter account tonight. I am just calling it out. And if there's any tweets saying otherwise, I have got my iPad right next to me and I will check.
Could it be you? Could it be you?
It's not.
Oh.
It's not. I wish it was.
And it's not me, and it's not me, because I'm only reserve, so, and I'm not, I don't even rate it.
Might be QBR Killer. I know Killer is away, and Mr. Nova as well. He's doing D3, I think, right now, alongside RJW. So if you want to tune in for D3, you can. If you want to tune in for the top tier, of course, you can stay right here for a beautiful 26-lap races. Justas has been disqualified. Jess, I'm going to come across to you. Who's your top 3?
I'm going to go Nathan, Cucumber, Montana.
Interesting. I'll go Montana, Nathan, Cucumber, very tentatively for that 3rd position. But the 5 red lights are now about to come out here in the gantry. Shocking camera angles to start off the session, but 5 red lights are on, and it is... Eventually, lights and away we go, and a very good start there by Campbell. Will draw alongside on the back of the Alfa Romeo, but the Alfa Romeo in the 2nd phase of the start gets the lead in towards turn 1 at Abbey. So Cucumber leads through Abbey, Campbell in 2nd, Russell there in 3rd. There's contact though, further down the field there's a huge bit of contact. Justas has been caught up in that, Felipe got caught up in that I think as well. Somebody's wing flate has gone completely flying off. Lifeboat already through into 11th position. He's missed the majority of all of that. Spine, I think it was, that got caught up with the Justas, if I'm not mistaken. But Cucumber leading the way. Campbell 2nd. Russell there in 3rd. But they're 3 wide in the background. There's a Hasselhoff in the background as well. That's Dylan, who's picked up a little bit of damage in the Alpha Tauri. Verstappen, I think, has done the same as well. But Sweet Crown coming through the right-hander now of Lovefield. Got Montana all the way around the outside of him. The Swiss man tries to hang it out there on the Slovak, but the Slovak's going to give him room towards the inside line now, down in towards the old turn 1. And to Cucumber that leads. Campbell 2nd, Nathan there in 3rd.
I'm just watching the people in the back as well, and I have to say a really impressive start from Lifeboat. Don't forget he did not set a lap time in the qualifying session, and he's already gained 9 places up to 11th, and he was having a battle with Pease as well through Lovefield, which was really great to see. And he's also going to have a battle with Mohammed heading towards the hangers straight, and we got a change for the lead as Campbell gets past Cucumber. But let's see what Lifeboat can do down the inside of Mohammed in towards Stowe Corner. Can he do it from the outside? Yes, he can. He's up into 10th place. He's gained 10 positions. Other drivers have also gained quite well. Matt, we've also got Izzo as well, that's gained 4 places. And I'm just trying to see who else. Felipe's gained 3 as well. Biggest loser though, Verstappen, dropped 11 places, just down 13. So the 2 QBR man in the AlphaTauri, they're both in the pits.
Yeah, they are both in the pits. Verstappen, I think, was that got the damage. I think Dylan might have had the knock-on effect in all of that as well. Justas was certainly caught up in that incident coming through the right-hander of turn number 3. But Cucumber right on the back of Campbell once again. He's just going to tuck into the slipstream, I think, for now. No, he's not. He's going to go for the move down the inside of Brooklands. And Cucumber now retakes the race lead. But Campbell is still there on the inside line. As now comes in towards Lovefield. Still on the inside is the Mercedes. The Alfa Romeo Stanger trying to hang it all the way around the outside, and he does. But Russell there right in the mix as well. Might actually go for the move on the back of Campbell. He does. Might actually have the speed to carry on the run down in towards Copse Corner, but it's not quite, and Cucumber leads the way. Russell there now into second. Campbell there in third, and Campbell, I think, has done the right thing there. Get out of harm's way. He's on the slower tyre. He can let Cucumber pull away, but Nathan looks quick in this car, and the Mercedes already beginning to fire on all cylinders.
I agree. It's very smart if you're on the harder tyre, just let them go. And if you can pretty much be on their pace for most of your stint, then you're going to be absolutely lightning quick come the end when he's on the medium. So I think for Campbell, he's just going to be very, very patient. And if the other guys pull away from him, then he could be in a spot of bother. But at the moment, he's doing all right. So for him being in third, he can let his teammate fight for the lead, and then probably use him as a buffer to try and get past as well. Sweet Crown, by the way, is trying to catch up as well. Fastest out of anyone so far in this race, and he's going to try and catch up to DRS, which is now enabled. A big DRS train here, but he's got the ever-prancing Montana, our championship leader, who is not going to give up without a fight as they're past the loop into Aintree and towards the Wellington Straight now. Is there going to be a change for the lead into Brooklyn? Looks like Nathan could try for a move in. Maybe he doesn't go for the move. He stays behind Cucumber. No one else is going to go for the move, it looks like. It's going to be a DRS tray. Oh!
Cucumber spins! Coming through the final couple of corners there into the middle sector. And also, a thing caught up in that, potentially Felipe. Alp now moves to the inside on, and Campbell gets in, he's into second. But Cucumber, no contact, I don't think, involved in that. If there was, it was hitbox. But Nathan now leads. Alp there in second, and Alp's trying to go around the outside through Maggots and Beckett's. Never going to work. He's going to remain in behind on the back. But Cucumber lost it by himself. He got caught on the inside curb. Then I think he had a slight over-rotation. Lost it by himself. Unfortunately, Campbell nearly got caught up in that as well. He had to back off. He's now down in third. Alp now through, and he's into second. But good avoiding action by everyone. And Maledictus is now side by side around the outside, coming through Stowe Corner at turn 15. But Maledictus does not get the move done on Matthias, and Matthias is holding sway. But that could potentially be, Jess, that DRS train just beginning to split if Matthias does not pick up the pace slightly.
Yeah, he's got to get a move on ASAP as well, and especially if people who are on the softer tyre need to keep an eye on their tyre degradation as well. So we'll keep an eye on that. And I have to say, these drivers are doing a very good job keeping on a long DRS train from, I think, first down to 16th. And even the ones who've had a bit of a spin is still in this train nonetheless. And I'm almost certain Cucumber's going to try and fight, but it's not about where you start, it's about where you finish as Montana. Oh, a bit of contact from him and Sweet Crown as he heads into Brooklands and into Luffield as well. One of the grandstands near the main entrance, and it looks absolutely lovely as a Sweet Crown trying to do what Charles Leclerc Lewis Hamilton did, trying to go side by side into Copse Corner to the outside, and he gets fourth place back from Montana. Brilliant stuff. But look at this, Montana's going to fight back here as he heads to the first part of the Maggots and Beckett section. Can he get the move done? Of course he can. Sweetly done from the Aston Martin driver. He is the championship leader for a reason, and look at this, he's already catching up to the leading pack.
Yeah, he is indeed. I put it this way, he's sweetened Sweet Crown quite completely there, and he's there down in fifth position is Sweet Crown, but Montana getting that fourth position. Beautiful move in the end. I took that from Yildirim's perspective, and that looked absolutely beautiful, that switchback coming out of Copse Corner. Well done, and the medium compound is clearly still working on that car as well, and the Aston Martins become now onto lap 5 out of 26 here in Silverstone. Russell leading the way, Albon second, Campbell there in third, and that slight weave potentially is just a little nod there to Sweet Crown saying, yeah, I got you there, my friend. Or was that a nod to us saying, yeah, I'm on board with you, Montana, so please keep it clean. Sweet Crown there in fifth position, Yildirim there in sixth, but Russell there leading the way. No real pressure being applied out in front. EOS is very, very nice indeed for him. Montana eyeing up the move potentially on Alp in towards, on Campbell even, down in towards Brooklands. Not going to happen, and now the big DRS train forms. Of course, what we had in PSGL around here, Markedos, of course, taking the win around here in round 3. He, of course, is part of that championship fight on Monday, so if you do want to tune in for that, you can promote cheeky that plug on the stream. Yeah, cheeky plug indeed. Russell there leading the way though, Alp in second, Campbell in third, and nobody in this League of Europe field, by the way, is in PSGL PSF1 before you ask.
Exactly, but League of Europe is the league to watch on a Saturday night. So if you're bored on a Saturday night, want to keep going, there's more tiers on after this, so there we go. So plenty of opportunities to race on Saturday nights as well. I think they're still looking for a reserve as well. But as Spine gets past Jerome, happy to Stowe corner. Oh, it looked like Jerome was going to get the switch back there, but he wasn't. So the Aston Martin driver, we had 1 in 4th and we got 1 in 14th. So 10 place difference and still plenty of points to be scored. In LOE, top 12 score points. So at the moment it's going to be Nathan all the way down to Izza that's going to get the points, but we know that Rocco, Spine and Euron are not going to give up without a fight, I can tell you that as well. But out then, he's got to think very, very smart about this because he knows he's on the softer tyre with the likes of Nathan. I don't think he just has the pace to get past because look at that straight line speed that Nathan's got in that Mercedes. I think he's running a lower downforce setup compared to Alp. That's probably why Alp is struggling on the straights, but in the corners, you can see Alp is closing up.
Yeah, definitely so. Alp is certainly closing up in the straight line, so I think he's got more straight line speed, maybe a slightly less downforce, as you mentioned there, with Nathan in front. Nathan is just beginning to pull away, though, 0.6 of a second the gap. Alp is catching around about 1/10 of a second. That could be down to dirty air as well. We see Campbell running wide there. That might be a warning for him coming through at the right-hander of Cups corner at turn number 9. Somebody that I've been watching with very close eyes is Lifeboat there in 9th position. All over the back of Maledictus as he now comes through Beckett, and then on the exit now through Chapel. Is that on the back as well with teammate Mohammed in behind. But Lifeboat, I'm actually surprised that he has not made much ground as Matthias is going to try and make ground to the inside line of Yulbream. Forces the inside line, the McLaren does on the back of the Haas. The Haas and McLaren will run side by side in towards the right-hander now of Vale, and then in towards Club corner at turn 18. Might be a case of through goes Yulbream if he's not careful. Yulbream on the right-hand side, trying to go around the outside. He just about manages to pull that one off. Matthias fought that with absolute thin teeth, but in the end, Yulbream through, and he's intersect. Maledictus there is waiting in behind and probably thinking, you know what, guys, you can just fight it out. We're going to be here to get you.
Yeah, and it's one of those tracks as well where the more these guys keep squabbling, the ones at the front of that trailer we're like, you know what, keep going, keep fighting, I will keep my lead, thank you very much. But we are starting to see, I think, the tyres close in on Newbury just a little bit. Nope, he's not going to get past either. Oh, he thought about it. He thought about it heading into Luffield, but he decided no. He probably will wait another day. He's probably going to try and save a bit of tyre life. I'm just looking at the ERS, by the way, of these drivers, because I can do that at LOE. I can't do that at PSGL. Matthias on 67%, Yulbream's on 44%, so I think Matthias, if he goes for the attack, he's got more to use, and he can have more to defend if he's in front. Sweet Crown's got more ERS than Montana, so Montana has just got to hope that he is quicker, otherwise Sweet Crown is going to pounce on him like no tomorrow. And Campbell now pretty much on similar ERS, with Campbell having more, and Nathan has got 60%, so plenty of drivers got enough to use up, but there's certain drivers, the likes of Montana and Yulbream, for example, who need to work just a little bit harder to keep ahead of the ones with high ERS.
Yeah, definitely so. Everyone with ERS, I think, is managing the tyres and everything very well indeed. ERS management really key, of course, around this track here at Silverstone. Something that I'm probably not going to manage in my race a little bit later on in Silverstone, but we'll have to wait and see on how I get on around there. Spine on the back of Rocco in the meantime, 13th and 14th position. Of course, joined here in the commentary box myself, James Head, by race winner. Oh, as that Rocco has a huge woman there on the inside, coming through Aintree now. Spine and Rocco side by side. Might be Sharon filtering in this as well. Might be a 2-for-1 running down in towards Brooklyn. Sharon thinks about it up to the inside line. Doesn't get the job done. What I was about to say is I'm joined, of course, by race winner around here last night in Miss Jessica Ball alongside me in the commentary box.
It wasn't around Silverstone. It wasn't around Silverstone.
It wasn't around Silverstone. I thought it was.
No, it was Suzuka.
Suzuka. Oh my word. At least it began with an S though.
Default setup as well.
At least it began with an S though.
Exactly. There we go.
Yeah.
I wish it was around Silverstone. I've never done well in Silverstone at all in league racing.
You never know. You never know. Lifeboat on the back of Maledictus in the meantime. Set of soft compound tires really begin to come into play now for him. To the inside line goes the PSGL F6 man on Maledictus. Can the softs actually last out to the pit stops that are going to happen? Bit of hand of rage there actually from the Ferrari. Kimi Raikkonen style. But Lifeboat is ahead on the brakes. Nice move there. Maledictus thought, you know what? I'm going to come back at you probably down the straight. So I may as well just back off. Save a bit of EOS. He is on 11% as Cucumber's into the pit lane. Now he has to make up ground somehow. This is probably more tactical, I think, from Cucumber than anything. Right at the back of the DRS train. It was about 3 seconds off, I think, off the back of the DRS train before he came into the pit lane. But he's into the pits. This will be for a set of hard compound tyres. This is a big undercut that potentially could work for Cucumber. However, he's going to be a lot more vulnerable come the end of the race.
That is a bit earlier than expected. I thought it was going to last about lap 12 and then they were going to a set of hard tyres. So he's...
to the inside line, so I'm just shouting peas for no reason. Maledictus is on the inside line, coming through on peas, but Maledictus just about holds on.
Sorry, I just couldn't stop laughing at him. He's not giving up. He's not giving up as he heads towards Cops Corner to the right-hand side. Goes the Alfa Romeo, and it was the House of Peas that got past him.
Yeah, wow. Peas maybe wanting chips with that move, I think, potentially he's through.
Or fish.
He's into 9th position, or fish, or anything else that goes with peas, to be honest. Could be a pea soup as well from peas in this race, but he's there on the back of Lifeboat, actually, and look at him, he is catching very quickly down the straight, in towards the right-hander now of Stowe. Risks it for a chocolate biscuit to the inside line. Is he going to come out with 2 cup bourbons on the end of this corner? Maybe not. Peas low to the outside line on the back of Lifeboat, surely on the fresher tyres, going to make this work. Round the outside, Peas driving absolutely marvellously. Brilliant stuff by the Brit. He is through and he's into 8th, but at what cost? Because they've just lost pretty much DRS range to the guys ahead.
I think there's quite a few British drivers that want to win their home Grand Prix, and Pete is definitely going to make sure that he is one of those drivers that could be in the running for that as well. We are going to start seeing a few laps times. A lot of people potentially come in for a set of the hard tyres before, like the likes of Alp, Montana, Maledictus and Spa. And we've seen, I think, on the Haas drivers weaving a little bit. I think that was Pease as well, trying to get some heat into his tyres. Maledictus, by the way, has dropped a little bit from Spine and from a lot of drivers, actually. So he's definitely struggling out there.
He is. There's quite a few drivers struggling out there, to be honest, in terms of their tyres. Maledictus and Spine once again, side by side, coming out through Luffield, running down in towards the old turn 1 at Cops. Russell Lowe leading the way. Nathan out in front from Alpine second. Bit of grass mowing there going over. That was from the Williams of Izzard, who ran massively wide, coming out of Cops corner, now in towards Maggard's Beckers, of course, where Kvyat went off. I think it was in 2021, where he had a horrible puncture on the inside of the curb. Maledictus as well, all over the back there of Spine once again. But everyone just beginning to sort themselves out. Matthias looking to the inside line on the back of Yildirim, not getting the job done. We're on lap 10 out of 26. We should begin to see, though, Jess, at least Lifeboat come in the pit lane. As soon as I say that, he's actually in. So Lifeboat is into the pit lane, does not get that stop. No! He's 50 mile an hour over the speed limit coming into the pit lane, and if that was on the motorway, he'd be getting a speeding ticket for that one.
Yes, I think that is going to be something we watch out for, because the entry into the pit lane around Silverstone, it's really hard to see and to brake as well. So I think he won't be the first one to pick up a 5-second penalty around it. I've done that many a times in league racing on many games around it. So I don't think it's going to be the last 5-second penalty we see.
Definitely not. Definitely not. I am in a little bit of a process of announcing something there on Twitter, which I will announce in due course. I will probably do that.
I know what it is, because it's popped up on my feed.
What is it?
The one that was posted 12 minutes ago.
Is it by PGS Sim Racing by any chance?
Yes, it is.
Well, you know. You can keep guessing in the chat as to what that might be, but yes. Yeah, it's very interesting. I'm excited for that, to be honest. I've been informed that it could lead to me doing real-life commentary as well. So that'll be a massive plus.
Very, very nice. Very, very jealous, actually.
Very jealous. In the meantime, though, back to the reality. Campbell to the inside line on the run of Alp. Gets the job done. The Scotsman on the back of the Turk-American. He's through and he's into second. Nice work and easy work. Actually, it might mean that Alp decides to come in. But Nathan is into the pit lane. That is a big shock for him to come in. Leader of the race, into the pit lane. Everyone is pretty much staying out, I think, in behind. In fact, no one else has followed him in. So this is a real turn up for the Bucks in terms of the pit stops. Nathan in very early. He will get the mediums to the end, no doubt about that, but it's an early pit stop than what we were expecting.
I think he's going to lose so much optimal pace, though, compared to, like, people on fresher mediums and fresher hards. So I think he could struggle towards the end. He's going to be fast now, but, yeah, he's got to manage his tyres effectively, because otherwise he's going to miss a shout on a potential race victory here. But not the time I would have pitted. I think I would have pitted, I think, a few laps after. As Montana going side by side, but out in and towards Luffield right now, and he's through the right hand side, out covers to the left hand side as well as through Woodcote. Out doing a great defensive job there, as Montana could try through Cox, but he's not going to be that brave, I don't think, as he's losing a bit of ground just at the moment. But as the medium starts to die down, this is where they've got to make the moves now, because otherwise it's going to come down to pit stops and undercut strategies, as Dylan is also the second person to get a penalty, and he's out the race, so he's given up, which is a shame.
Yeah, he had a spin, I think, further down the field. Obviously, he had that contact a little bit earlier on as well, coming on the first lap. So Dylan out of the race, first retirement. Always disappointing to see a retirement before the halfway stage, of course, in any race, let alone whatever league it is. Campbell was in, Montana is into the pit lane as well, and these are the only two in, bar, I think, the Ferrari of Mohammed, who is also in as well. So the three of them into the pit lane, two on a set of hards, one on a set of mediums. They're now going to transition from the mediums to the hards. Dylan, by the way, his AI is going to be coming out the pit lane, which is going to be very annoying for anyone coming through that part of the track. But Nathan is coming through the right hand of a Stowe. Montana and Campbell and the likes have only just entered their pit boxes. It's a 35-second pit lane around here with that pit stop included in. So Nathan is surely going to be well ahead of Campbell, and it could be the case where Nathan gaps the leader, and Campbell as well can just be there as the middleman and hold him in behind, because it's going to be more than a second out the pit lane. There is Montana as well coming out the pits. There's Lifeboat, he's involved in this battle as well. Perfect for the Mercedes. That is perfect as well if Campbell wants to be used as a bit of a spring chicken. The Montana and Lifeboat in behind and keep them at bay as Montana and Lifeboat get very close through entry.
Yeah, I think that was a tag of oversteer for Lifeboat there, as he was struggling to get the car together through entry, and I think even though he started in last spot, he was also a driver that pitted quite early as well, and it wasn't just more that Nathan that pitted quite early. I think everyone else did as well, so it just goes to show that our strategies probably weren't completely wrong, but that's league racing at times. The game has improved quite a bit in terms of patching, so that's probably why in terms of tyre temperatures. Spine comes in. Everyone's pretty much going in, I think, to cover off from any undercuts. The only ones that are staying out are the likes of P's and Alp in P1 and P2 as well. I'm surprised Alp hasn't come in yet. Is he going to be brave and go to around about lap 18 for Sev Softs?
Well, I think it was Jerry Van Bussel that did this in PSGL PSF1, and he ended up all the way down at the back of a DRS train, about 7 seconds off the back. Ended up catching towards the end of the race, and ended up, I think, finishing in the top 10 of that race as well. So it is possible, but it's very, very unlikely, I think, for him to go set us off compound tyres. But he might have to, because otherwise it's a set of hards, and he's going to be fighting potentially with the likes of Montana, Lifeboat, Sweetcrown, who actually are side by side just coming out the pit lane there. Briefly, Ferrari through on the Red Bull, so Lifeboat is on 3-lap older tyres now compared to Sweetcrown, maybe even 4 laps actually older tyres. Cucumber as well on 5-lap older tyres compared to Matthias. He's on the back of him, running down now in towards Brooklands. The Alfa Romeo and the Mercedes and the McLaren going side by side, and the Alfa Romeo makes light work there of Matthias. Matthias' tyres, of course, still getting used to getting warmed up, but Cucumber through for now, and he's in for 11th, but Matthias will make ground. But Matthias, though, with that penalty overhanging him, like he always does, I think, in League of Europe, he always has the penalty overhanging him. He's got Mohammed on the back of him, and I think they've got to utilise each other to work together, because there are much fresher tyres than Cucumber. They've got Yulbream, what, a second and a half up the road. Makes sense for them to work together.
And it's a track where you can overtake a lot as well, so you can't afford really just to be stuck behind the one with the harder tyres. You've got to get past ASAP really, so these guys have got to be brave as well. So if one person can get past, maybe try and use each other as a slipstream, and then the other person can get past afterwards. Izza, by the way, gets past Maledicted into Stoke Corner. Very nicely done. Up in a 2P14. We've got Pete and Rocco into the pit lane, and fastest lap set by Nathan currently at the moment. He's your net race leader. as he goes through in past the pit lane, so he's comfortably ahead of P. So I'm just starting to realise Alp's going to lose a lot of time compared to some of these guys, and I'm trying to remember how long the pit lane is around here, but it is one of the longest on the calendar, I believe.
It is. It's about a 35-second pit stop. With that coming into the pit lane, it's about a 35-second pit stop. Montana on the back of Campbell, by the way. This is for net second position. Pulls the inside line through Brooklands. Easy job there by the Swiss man. And that is now the Mercedes tactic of potentially holding up Montana and the likes. Not really working, because Montana's now ahead. He's on that sort of hard compound of tyres. Mediums are going to be quicker. Sweet Crown, though, was the one to watch out for in this battle. If they could begin to use Montana up, utilise his battery, utilise his pace as well, they're going to be on the back of Nathan very much. His life batter's out. That's coming through Cop's corner. Oh, and he's gone straight on, I think, coming through there to safety car deployed out on track. Unless he's caught the inside wall coming through Cop's, that looks to me more equipment failure than actual contact with the wall, but it might be as well he's made contact with the inside barrier and has just flung him off circuit.
Yeah, so I think with the likes of Alp and Felipe, this is probably golden news for them, because the pit lane loss around a safety car time is less than about 30 seconds, so they're going to gain quite massively at the moment, because everyone else is going to be at a Delta. Alp stayed out!
Yeah, he missed the pit lane. The safety car came out, and he's missed the pit lane, and he's caught up with the safety car as well. That is rotten news for the man in front. He would have had a 30-second gap over Nathan if he didn't catch the safety car and the safety car didn't come out in front of him. He would have a 30-second gap and he would have been out on the race lead. It is so heartbreaking, I think, for Alp. But what he can do with Felipe and the likes coming in the pit lane, everyone else is going to be a little bit sparsed out as they get to him. He could still potentially come out, maybe behind Yaron, I'm thinking, in 13th, and he's still on the bridge of the points. He's on that sort of soft compound of tyres, and he can still make something out of this race.
I was laughing because of something that the live updates are just being put about macaroni. The admin is called eating macaroni cheese at the moment.
Macaroni cheese on a Saturday,
really? That's
really?
why I was laughing. I wasn't laughing at Alps catching up to the safety car. I was laughing at the tweet at the moment. Sorry about that, but
we wouldn't be that cruel.
No, and my rules in other leagues as well is you don't laugh at stuff like that either. So there we go. But we got just as Verstappen and Maledictus on the set of the soft tyres. I'm liking the braveness. I would say go for it, but they're going to lose quite a bit of pace at the end. But I think he can just about do it.
Yeah, I think they will. Alp, by the way, is into the pit lane. He's going to be in... Well, he was in the net lead of the race. I think he's going to be coming now around about Felipe sort of area. Probably in that little bit of a gap that we've got between Felipe coming in towards Valen Club now, and then Verstappen, Matthias, Maledictus, those guys coming through that part of the track, coming on through the middle sector split right now, and Alp is coming out of the pit lane. Yaron has actually came in the pit lane as well, so he's actually going to be ahead of Yaron, easily ahead of Maledictus and Matthias when he comes out of the pit lane. So he is in 13th position, exactly where I expected him to come out in. Perfect for him. Set us off compound tyres on now. What can he do? Because he is a master of his craft. If he gets another safety car, that potentially could save him, because then the likes of Cucumber, for example, the likes of Montana will have to pit in, and then he can gain into the points, and then he can think about potentially a top 5.
Yeah, I think Al still's got a chance for some points here as well for the first few laps. If he can get past Felipe and Rocco and Spine especially, then that should be fine. But it depends on how quickly the soft wear off as well. We've seen it wear off in lap 7 or 8 for Lifebout as well, who unfortunately has retired. So if he could use it to fall off that and not get held up with traffic too much, I think he could potentially go up to, I'm going to say, I think 9th or 8th spot I think he would get to as well. Maledictus, I think, will use Alf as a buffer and work together potentially as well to see what he could do as well. But again, he can't get hold off for that long. I think Sweet Crown has got a good chance of doing well in this race too, because Montana is still on hard tyres, Camel's on older mediums, and Nathan has been on the oldest mediums of the lot. So Sweet Crown could use his freshest mediums to his advantage. Your Bream is in 5th as well. That's seen in the record books, if I do say so myself.
Yeah, definitely so. Definitely so. It is going to be really intriguing in terms of this racing. Equaz there in the chat saying cucumber with a fire emoji. He's there in 7th position on that ton of hards. I'm not sure if that fire emoji potentially is for his tyres cooking towards the end of the race, or if that is just for genuine support. I think it's the latter rather than the former, but those tyres are going to be shot towards the end of the race for Cucumber. He's there in 7th, might not be there come the end of the race, so I will take that with a pinch of salt, as we've got pit stops into the pit lane as well. Verstappen in, Justas also into the pit lane, so this is interesting. Both of them have actually made contact coming in the pit lane, because Justas has picked up a 5-second penalty for making contact. I thought it was a bit close, to be honest, coming in the pit lane. But Justas has made contact with the back of Verstappen, and the Alpine now has got maybe even potential damage on that car. He's there in 17th position, on to a fresh set of softs, but that 5-second penalty, of course, will not be served underneath the safety car, so he's going to carry that right to the back end of the field, and he's currently in 2nd in the championship, a point actually separating himself and 3rd place, who, of course, I believe, if I just get this up quickly, because I've got rid of the standings on my end, it is, of course, Mr. Cucumber, who's there in 3rd. Cucumber currently in the points in 7th position. That'll be enough for him to take 2nd. Sweet Crown also in the points in 4th. Justas potentially could be 4th by the end of tonight.
Yeah, and that will mean Montana would pretty much increase his gap just a little bit more, and that's a sign that Justas will not want to see at the end of tonight, I have to say. But with Justas Verstappen pitting, that is very smart, because if you just joined into League of Europe, Division 1, thank you for tuning in, by the way, it was an intermediate qualifying. No dry tyres were used. So, for most of these drivers, they should have 3 sets of softs to use for the race. So, just as Verstappen already used 1 lap of softs already, they thought, those can't get to the end. We're near the back anyway. They're going to go on to a set of the fresh softs and try and get these to the end of the race. I think that's quite smart. You're not going to lose out on position. The only loss, really, is them colliding in the pit lane. But anyway, safety car's in this lap.
Yeah, safety car indeed in this lap, and it is now George Russell himself, the virtual Burt Marlander. He's now the virtual safety car out on track. If you are a first-time viewer, it is not Mr. George Russell that we've got driving in League of Europe. We wouldn't. I think he'd probably be paying like £100,000 an appearance if we wanted to try and get him in, to be honest. But it's Nathan out on top. He's now the virtual Burt Marlander. It's now the virtual safety car. And the QVR man now is coming through the final couple of corners at Stowe. It's a very slow burn up in terms of this safety car restart. I think he'll go on the exit coming through Stowe, or maybe midway through the corner, and now he goes through the midway through the corner, gets the car nicely done, and Montana and Campbell are now under pressure from in behind, because Sweetcrown's right there or thereabouts as they come now in toward Balin Club for the 18th time. Now onto lap 19 we go here in Silverstone. Russell leads from Montana in 2nd, Campbell there in 3rd, Sweetcrown there in 4th, Izzat already over the back of Cucumber and already passed him, in fact, down in towards turn 1 at Abbey. Beautiful stuff from the Singaporean. He's through and he's into 7th. He's there right on the back of Cucumber and 8th, and Cucumber's tyres already going, because P's to the inside line. Surely going to get this one the job done in toward Village in the loop. Does get the job done. He's through and he's into 8th position. Nice move, and Cucumber now falling down the field. Perfect news for Montana. Perfect news for Sweet Crown. Not so perfect news for Justas.
Yeah, and these guys got to think about the long championship perspectives, because we are going to approach the second half of the season as of next week, and any minor slip-ups from the likes of Justas, it's just going to help the other guys even more as well. And the more races you start to make these type of mistakes, the less chance you have of actually winning the title. Oh, look at this. Al trying to fight back from Rocco, and he's in the points at the moment. I did say he could get up to 9th. He's up to 11th already. So, and look at that. He's getting a lot of speed through the Madison Beckett section. I absolutely love that section on this game, by the way. You could take it with so much more speed compared to the last game. I think one of my favourite corners on the game, to be honest with you, has Al trying to go down an unconventional move towards Stowe Corner. Made a bit of contact there. He decided not to go for it. Yeah, he's going to lose, I think, another position for Cucumber to the left-hand side. But Al gets switched back and covers him off as Cucumber has a spin, unfortunately. So they might have made contact there. My camera angle was not the best there, so I couldn't quite see whose fault was that. But I guess that might go to the stewards.
Maledictus and Rocco were side by side as well. I was taking it from Rocco's perspective. That bit of contact, and Alp, I think, just cut him off slightly. Very minimal, if that. But Alp might be landing himself in the steward's room potentially later on. But it's now a who's who in towards the village section. Now through the loop as Felipe gets done around the outside of Verstappen. Beautiful move that was by the Alpine on the back. Matthias there on the back of Maledictus as well. They run down and straight in towards Brooklands once again. Izzat through ahead of Mohammed. Mohammed still fighting back though as he comes through that part of the track. On board with Matthias on the inside. Now through Maledictus, gets the job done, so that set of softs clearly working in terms of the compound tyre. Pease though on the back of Izzat not clearly working in terms of his tyres. He can't get through on the back of Izzat right now. Mohammed staying in there in 6th position ahead of the Singaporean. Montana was 1.3 seconds behind underneath the safety car restart. It's now 6/10 per second. Montana's tyres suddenly getting into grips with the hard compound tyres, suddenly getting to grips with the warmer temperatures that we've got in this race. Campbell all over the back of him, but Montana is in this fight for the race win. He wanted the top 5. I think now racer's instinct takes over and he's going for the win.
Yeah, if he's in the front, of course he's going to go for the race victory. And Nathan, don't forget, pitted early. And I'm just trying to remember what the crossover period was between the mediums and the hard compounded tyres. I think it's around about 10, 11 laps. So it's not going to be that long until Montana's hards are going to be the best of the lot. It is 11 laps. I was scrolling down through my notes. So, yes, just wait until around about lap 23. I think we could start to see Montana closing up as Izzat trying to get the move past Mohammed, through past Aintree, through the Wellington straight. Now a bit of squirming from the Williams driver, and Pease has got past Mohammed, and he's going to try and get past Izzat as well.
Illegal overtake.
Illegal overtake, so he has to let him in back through. Oh, slight bit of contact there as well. This is good racing, by the way, from Pease, one of the stars of the show, but he has got no penalties as well, so he's going to hope that he can pull away very, very soon. So he's on for net P6 at the moment, which is very, very good. This is great stuff.
Yeah, I'll get to the job done on Mohammed. By the way, there could have been murder quite literally here at Silverstone because Izzat speared across. He left Mohammed very short of room. Mohammed came spearing across on track. He caught the outside curb, speared across on track to Pease. Pease then got caught on the grass. Alps all over the back of Pease in the meantime as we run down in towards Stowe once again. But that could have been potential suicide out on track in terms of the level of racing that we had. And I mean that. And I really do mean that. Rocco as well to the inside line, and that is probably what I've just said as Mohammed goes over the curb. He spins into the Alpine. Maledictus out of the race. Truly a safety car. It is. Yeah. It's a safety car. Mohammed, 5-second penalty. The driving standards are dropping here in Silverstone, but then again, it's League of Europe on a Saturday night. People have probably had a few, but Russell leading the way. Montana second. Campbell there in third. But what does that do now to the race, Jess? Because safety car is not being caught underneath this lap, which is good for the drivers. Not so great news for the guys in behind who are actually caught behind the safety car, which are the likes of Felipe, Yaron and Mohammed, I think, coming through that part of the track. But Russell there leading the way. Would everyone put in for a set of softs, or would they leave led to be vulnerable to the likes of Alp, Verstappen and Justas who were already on those tyres?
That is quite a tough decision, but if I was if you'd been on those tyres for like ages, such as Campbell and Nathan, I would potentially go on to a set of softs. But if you're Nathan, you don't know what the drivers that go around you're going to do. I think if Nathan comes in, everyone else is going to follow him in, apart from the ones that stayed out, of course. Everyone else, apart from the likes of Verstappen and Justas, they still got 2 more softs left to use. So if they want to be sure that the softs can be at optimal pace for the majority of the race now, they've got to come in. Cucumber's in a really great position back as well. Let's hope he's not lapped. I don't think he's going to be, so that is good news. So if I was Nathan, I would come in now. Nope, he's not. So that means everyone's going to stay out. I think it's a chain reaction. If Nathan came in, I think everyone else was going to come in.
Rocco's in. Rocco was into the pit lane. He's the only one, bar the Alpine and McLaren in behind, and actually quite a few actually coming in behind. Yaron and Mohammed. Yaron picks up a 5-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and that'll of course be added to his time at the end of the race because he can't serve that up underneath this pit stop. Rocco was in, set of softs. Justas, Matthias, Yaron, Mohammed, all in for set of softs. They're going to be ahead of Cucumber quite comfortably, But this is going to be now real tenderhooks moments out on track. I think they're too far down to really land a blow, and it could create as well as the Mercedes there, Russell speeding towards the back of the safety car. I thought he was going to hit the back, actually, a virtual Burt Malander right there, but Russell leading the way for Montana second, Campbell there in third. What that does do with the set of soft compound tyres, 17th position for Cucumber. I think they're too far back to really land a blow in this race, but what it could do as well, we could actually only get potentially one racing lap, or at least two.
We're going to get two, because on this game it has to come in, I think, 2 laps before the end of the race, I think. I have seen it in some occasions where we've had one, but that is if the safety car gets called now, or at the end of this lap. So, yeah, I think end of lap 24, we're going to get 2 laps of running, no DRS, it's going to be all guns a-blazing. We've got different strategies. I literally don't know which strategy is going to be the best. It's going to be about who can defend for their life. And bearing in mind, Montana's tyres are going to be the best of them all in the top 7. I know Montana's going to hate me for this. I think Montana's going to win this race.
He potentially could. Who did I say for P1, by the way?
Montana.
Exactly.
I said Nathan, I think. I can't remember. Or was it Cucumber?
You said... Oh, go back. Go back.
I don't know. I said one of the two anyway.
You did say one of the two. Larkin in the chat, by the way. Goat of League of Europe, Goat of One Hub as well, where you know him from, Jess. Wait, Jess is commentating. What a duo, he says there in the chat. I'm delighted to have Jess alongside me, of course, in the commentary box. Both of us, of course, it is only a one-off. I did Spain about 4 weeks ago now, in terms of my last race in League of Europe. Back here, of course, at Silverstone. And if you do want to watch me on the other side, by the way, you can watch me drive a little bit later on. 10 past 8 UK time on the channel, Division 4. I have
Support him!
Yeah, I've done 55 laps of practice. More than what Major Falcon's probably done after he did 300 laps apparently in Monaco last week, which is just an absolute gibbon. But I've put a lot of practice in, and hopefully it will give me a good result, especially after my DNF last week, which I do not want to talk about for the sake of me.
What lap was it?
lap two.
Sorry, I'm in one of those moods. Well, I DNF'd in Monaco on Thursday, on lap 30, and guess where I binned it? Just after the tunnel, I clipped the wall.
Oh, at least you got 28 laps further than me. I hit the wall.
We had a red flag, and we had 3 safety cars.
Red flag and 3 safety cars. I wish I would honestly dream for a red flag, to be honest, around in Monaco last week. Larkin saying James has clearly got bored of dominating the commentary side of LOE and is now coming for Montana on track. I am. Montana, watch out. That NSX tag, even though I'm now joining Rising Lions Sports, that NSX tag will be alongside my name, I'm absolutely sure. He has to pay for me for do that, though. And if he does, I'll be very happy. But it's Russell that leads the way to Montana second, Campbell there in third. Lap 25 and 26 about to begin, and with your own closing up, that means we're going to be in virtual Burt Malander time. Russell's going to be that. Safety car's coming in this lap, and now Russell can dictate the pace as well. But whose tyres is going to be quicker? I am looking more immediately.
What's happened there?
Sweet Crowd and Yulbeam swapping positions, I think, there. Maybe getting trigger happy on the brakes, I think, from Yulbeam's perspective, outbraking the back of Sweet Crown. But what I think might happen is, Russell might just aim to pull away underneath the safety car restart. If he does, and he's 8 tenths clear by the end of the lap, I think he will be on for the race win. Montana, though, he's got to hope those tyres are up to temperature. If not, he's got no chance.
Yeah, I think it's around about 100 temperature degrees that you got to get, ideally, in order to pretty much pull away for the likes of Nathan and Montana as well. It's different per tyre as well, so the meters may need more warmth compared to everybody else, whereas it'll be a bit colder for the hards, but we'll have to wait and see as the Mindlander of Nathan has got a really great start and has already pulled away by 6/10 of a second. Montana really needs to get a move on here for a chance for him to win this race, and he's struggling a little bit compared to Nathan, so the safety car has definitely helped Nathan save his tyres and get it up to temperature a little bit, as we're on the penultimate lap of this race. Izza trying to defend off Pease. He's going to go side by side. What a move from Pease! Is he going to keep it though? heading in towards 8 loop and entry. Yes, he does. That's probably the best moves I've seen on stream. Absolutely fantastic.
Beautiful move, but Al's going to try and repeat the favour around the outside of his coming through Aintree now, down the Wellington straight once again. Spine and Verstappen are side by side in the background as well. He looks towards the inside line on the back of the Aston Martin, should get the job done, but Spine holds the inside line now for Luffield, and the Aston Martin will remain ahead. The AlphaTauri still trying to fight, and look at Rocco in the mix as well. Rocco actually looks into the inside line. Maybe even 3 wide down and towards Cops, and that's what we are going to get, maybe, but Spine out to the inside line is on a slow in front. Now pulls the inside line. Rocco blocked off. Verstappen blocked as well. He's trying to get through now to the inside line. Through Maggots and Beckett. Oh my word, who the hell is that? That's the Alpina Justas. Justas has came from absolutely nowhere, and he's got both of them. Brilliant stuff by Justas. Thuni's into 10th. Now on the back of Spine for 9th. Montana now has been absolutely outdone by Nathan. On that safety car restart, it's 3 wide once again. Rocco's going to try and make it 3 wide if he can. But Justas, piece of masterclass driving from Justas, took the opportunity, grabbed it by the horns, beautiful stuff, and he's into 9th.
I think he's going to try and do a similar here on Izza and out later on as well. So for everyone that's near the front, watch out on Justas. He wants to try and make sure that he doesn't lose out that many points on this. This last safety car has probably pretty much saved him. Same with Verstappen as well. He's got past him as well. We're seeing more moves in the background. We've got Spine and Mohammed going side by side. Izza and Rocco. But by the way, ladies and gentlemen, Rocco, 9th, yellow flag. Oh no, that was Spine on those hards, but I'm not surprised. His tyres were, I think, living to give up the ghost at the moment. But just as I think, unfortunately, he's not going to try and catch up to the train. Out might be on the outside. This is just now buying stuff so far. I think our pit for Montana for the win doesn't look like it's going to happen. He's struggling on those hard tyres. Unfortunately, during that safety car, he didn't get out to temperature.
No, we didn't, and Nathan outdone on the safety car restart. That's what's won him the race at the end of the day. They come through Maggots and Beckett's for the final time. Matthias is going side by side, right in the background, and shot Mohammed and makes contact with him, and in the end 2 into 1 does not go. Rear damage on the car as well for Matthias. That is disappointing for him. It could be 3 wide down the straight as well between Alp, Justas and Pease. Pease have been absolutely outdone, and there goes Justas again. He repeats the move that what he did a lap ago, to the inside line now into towards Stowe this time, gets the job done. He's into 6th, and this race, I wish it was longer for him, because he might just win this. Russell now coming through the final corner. Nathan on the run to the line, wins at his home track and wins the British Grand Prix. Montana in the end in 2nd, Campbell in the end in 3rd, 1-3 for the Mercedes provisionally as well. Fantastic racing out on track. Sweet Crown in 4th, Yildirim 5th, Justas there in 6th. We'll run through the rest of the field as we progress through, but Nathan wins, Montana in 2nd, and all of that came down to, Jess, safety car restart and Nathan getting those sides up to temperature. That's what won them the race.
I think Montana was expecting Nathan to go at a different point, so that probably caught him off guard a little bit, and Nathan was absolutely flying as well, and without that restart, I think Montana would have got him, but just as in those final few laps, he was nowhere in the middle half of the race, and now suddenly he was getting past people left, right and centre. I have to say, if it was about these final few laps alone, just that's what we might drive for the day.
Yeah, definitely so. Justas, I think, he certainly deserves my drive of the day for that last 2 laps performance before. Brilliant stuff by Justas in the end. I wish the race was longer because he would have been on the podium. He may have even took it to Nathan at the end of the race and actually took the race win. Brilliant racing out on track though, and Silverstone and Tarek in the chat saying what I think we all think. Justas just came from nowhere there, and he absolutely did. But in the end, nobody could stop the king of Silverstone. It is Nathan who takes the win. Out on top, Montana there in 2nd. Points haul will extend, of course, to next week in Hungary, which is the next track, of course, here for League of Europe, which I'm looking forward to for that one. Montana there in 2nd, though, with Campbell in 3rd, and Sweet Crown in 4th. Yildirim there in 5th. Justas in 6th. Fastest lap as well, so he'll get an extra point for that. Out there in 7th with Rocco in 8th. Pease there in 9th. Verstappen ran off the top 10. Then Cucumber is at Spine, only 700ths of a second separating them in the end, even with that penalty. Mohammed, Matthias, Felipe top 16 along with Yaron, Maledictus, Lifeboat and Dylan were the 3 DNFs out on track. And Ren saying in the chat as well, Justas poured his soul into those last 2 laps. That was making up for lap 1 contact, which he did have, and he was right at the back of the field, remember?
Yeah, I think this was redemption, I think, for a lot of these drivers that were caught up in that turn 1, well, that lap 1 shenanigans, and now they're getting good results like that. Rocco P8 as well, out recovering to 7th, so that was good. So we need that last safety car as well. And I'm just trying to see, Izza from 18th to 12th as well. I think what could have been for Spines, I think he lost it on those hard tires, I believe. So I think if he would have gone onto the softs, I think he would have been up there as well. But cracking race, really good job from Nathan as well, and everybody, I have to say. It was questionable towards the middle, but towards the end, brilliant stuff.
Yeah, brilliant racing out on track. I am lobby host as well, which means I'm top of the lobby, which is very, very rare on my screen to happen.
I'm top as well. No, I'm top.
No, you're top on your screen, I'm top on my screen. I have to have a fight about it.
Okay.
It's all good, it is all good. But yeah, that will round off Liga Rip Division 1 very neatly indeed. If you want to catch more action, of course, on the channel, in around 25 minutes time, either I'm going to win, or I'm going to get a podium, or I'm going to bottle it in terms of Silverstone for Division 4. And if you do want to tune in for that, it's Verstappen taking through the action, of course, for Division 4. And then for Division 2, it is Montana going to be taking through the action for that. And that is going to be really intriguing to see that title fight going on in Division 2. And both of them, of course, coming up at 8 UK time. And if you're wondering about my announcement that I had as well, it's up on Twitter. If you do want to catch on that, I'm not announcing it on the stream because I'm not that egotistical and I'm not blowing smoke up my behind. But big thank you to everyone that tuned in. Big thank you to Jess for joining me in the commentary box. You can catch us once again, of course, on Monday for PSGL if you did enjoy our commentary. Title finale as well. And with Markedos actually getting the wrong amount of points in the standings, 2 points separating Jerry Van Bussel and Markedos going into the final race of the season in PSGL F1. So if you want to catch that Monday night, 8 PM, be there or be square. And that is it. That is it. Thank you so much for watching. We're going to end it off here. I'm going to get quick amount of practice in before the D4 lobby goes up. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, goodbye.
Bye-bye.